wouldn't say profitably, but you know, it's so a lot of fanboys in the chat saying that the Aussie dealer is cute. Having a nice chat with her last night. I think she's just coming up to the end of her visa and she's going to be flying back to Melbourne. Says that she wants to get out of the poker game and go into something new. So a new venture for her. Her name's Zoe.
It looks like Kevin limps again. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
not a
look
fan
like
of this one.
he's
Yeah.
afraid to play hands out of position, speculative ones.
The great thing about Kevin is that his pre-flop game is a bit unorthodox, but post-flop he's very unpredictable and he can have so many different kind of hands that it can be difficult to play against. Quite a big squeeze on the button here, makes it 7.5x after 2 limps. Andrew had come along with the, oh no. Yeah, it just goes for a 7.5x over a limp, so pretty big. Andrew with the cold call, really not a fan of this whatsoever. You're not doing very well at all against the button 7.5x isolation range.
Although he got the flop he wanted to see.
Got the flop he wanted to see. Flops top pair with a medium kicker. Sam's probably going to bet this one. He's got himself backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, and the live overcard as well. So that's going to be a bet. The 9 isn't one of his best bluff candidates on the turn with his exact hand, but he may feel as though he was going to continue with this one. And he doesn't. He checks it back. 7 of spades on the river, and it's probably going to be another check. I think Sam has
It's hard
decided
to rep
go for
that
a
the
bet.
7 is going to help him. I guess he could have completed a flush, but then he would have probably continued on the turn.
I don't really know what he's repping here with the bet check bet line. A lot of the hands that he might go for thin value on the kind of caps himself at like a hand like pocket 8s or something like that, you know, like those kind of hands he might go for a bet check bet line, but never usually going to have a lot of strength because the turn was fairly innocuous, so would have wanted to go for a second barrel with most of his premium holdings. Does decide to go for that line, gets snapped off by Andrew in seat 6. He pulls in the pot and moving forwards. Any PLO later, says Winfeld. Yeah, absolutely. We have a 5-5 PLO game. That's going to be in about 3 hours' time, I believe. Be broadcast live from 8:30. 114 of you live and watching. Thanks very much for joining us on this Cash Game Festival Saturday. I'm just going to pop out and get myself a Diet Coke. Would you like anything?
One of these, doesn't matter what
Another
flavor.
one of those, yeah? I'll surprise you.
Okay.
Have you tried the blue one?
No, that's the only one I haven't tried yet. Okay. So you're stuck with me for a little while. George will be right back to get a tasty beverage. And we have Sam calling for 5. Andrew coming along on the button. So it looks like there was a straddle here. Yes, Kevin straddled up the 5. Joseph calling from the big blind, and Kevin opting to check with his 5-4 off. This is a dream flop for Sam, but I'm not sure how much action he will get from it.
8 bets 15.
It depends on what happens in front of him. Joseph opting to bet, so he'll at least get some action here. A 10 would certainly make things interesting. A 10 of clubs would make it more interesting. But the 10 of clubs, I believe, was in a hand we just saw folded, so... An ace of spades does change the dynamic a bit. We'll see what Joseph does. I think Sam will bet here after it was checked to him. Middle pair, flush draw, very strong hand, especially against the range of the big blind. Good sizing as well, 30 into a pot of 52. Joseph will get rid of it, but if Joseph had a hand to continue along with, like a 10-jack, 6-7, 7-10 kind of hand, he's probably going to be coming along for another card. Have they given any hints for the password? We're waiting for the information ourselves, so as soon as we have it, we will share it with you. We can't share with you with what we do not have, unfortunately. And we're up to 113 viewers, if that number is correct. So thank you, everybody, for joining us. If it's your first time watching, welcome to the stream. And George, thank you for the tasty Blue Machine beverage, apple, blackberry, and blueberry smoothie.
Just bursting with it.
Yes.
Seat 2 folds, 3 folds, 4 folds, 5 folds.
I think this is my 4th smoothie of the day.
Right.
I think I went through all the flavors.
There's a lot of sugar left.
A lot of apples, bananas, and blackberries as well, though, too.
Seat 1 fold. Seat 6 folds.
So Andrew just calling from the cutoff. Let's see what Joseph does. He should be raising from the small blind. Okay, something was wrong with the graphics there, it looks like. I don't think he would have been folding ace-queen suited from the small blind to a limp, and I don't think Andrew limped because he took down the pot pre-flop. So, in any event, it wasn't a big pot, and it was taken down pre-flop. Them smoothies gonna make you go to the restroom. I mean, when you're doing this, you're always going to be drinking a lot of beverages anyway, so you get used to just either taking a quick break or making it last, so I'm not that concerned about that.
5 folds, 6 folds, 7 folds.
Lots of suited cards, low ones being folded early.
8.
It folds around to Joseph on the button, who has unsuited queen jack. Opts a raise to 8, which is fine on the button. So we've seen back-to-back hands taken down before the flop. David has cooled down his aggression a little bit as well. And Sam's profit isn't as high as it used to be, but I believe he's still the big winner at the table thus far. Okay, George coming back.
No problemo,
That was the
124.
quickest sandwich scarf I've seen in history.
I am a pretty fast eater. I feel as though there might be a,
5 bits, but
if not commentating, certainly a career in competitive eating. Because
fold, 8 folds.
I love chowing it down. I did the nugget challenge with my friend. I basically I said, right, I'll take 15 on, you take 5, and I'd finished it before he had the 5. So
Wow.
that was how confident I was. We were in Amsterdam though, and we'd sort of had a taste of the local delicacies and such. So
That makes a little more sense.
certainly increases the flavour and increases your appetite for sure. So
5 bits, 7.
interesting flop here as the case deuce comes on the flop. Sam's got himself the bottom set. Tom's got himself backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, and bottom pair to go with it. So King Harley K9, them smoothies going to make you go to the restroom. Yeah, I think Jason might have to dash out in a second. I think any hints for the password? Not as of yet, but do stay tuned. And Ferger Burger says, hey yourself, man. Thanks very much for joining our stream. Absolute pleasure to have you. Wow, Tom goes for the double check call with bottom pair. Having not improved on the turn in terms of equity, goes for another check. Sam's just going to bet, pretty standard stuff. And not a great spot for Tom. Gives it a bit of a side fold.
I'm fine with calling on the flop, but that turn call seemed a bit loose.
Loose, very loose. Especially when you block some of the bluffs as well, you know, like the ace-high flush draw or whatever. And 2018, everyone is glued to their phone, as usual. The way
Even
it
me,
goes.
but I'm trying
Yeah,
to
but
see
you're
if I
getting
can
some
take out the
content
Unibet
out.
password.
Yeah, it's work. Yeah. Oh, you're getting the Unibet password.
I'm
It was
trying.
messaged actually earlier on the group chat.
5 folds.
David's message earlier on should be in there.
6 bits, 11. 3. 7 folds. 8 folds. 1 fold.
Have a look at David's message at about 2:45.
Okay, so we're about to share with you the Unibet password.
Are we? Ooh.
As soon as we can have it. We have enough people asking for it.
4 folds.
Poker Gremlin, thanks very much for joining us. 132 of you. Loving the fact that that viewer count is going up and up and up. Please do share us on Facebook, Twitter, Bumble, Tinder, MySpace, whatever you got. Get us on there, twitch.tv/cashgamefestival, and do please drop us a like as well. Facebook.com/cashgamefestival. We did manage to hit that 4K likes, which was a nice little milestone to get through. I'm going to be taking a bit more an active role in the social media, so hopefully we can boost that engagement and make sure that we get all of those posts out to you and all of the updates and goings on at the Cash Game Festival.
So I'm going to take a 5-minute break,
No
maybe
problem.
for the bathroom as well, but most importantly to update the free roll command.
No
So
problem,
be
pal.
back soon, everybody.
So just me at the moment. Guys, as we said, please do share us on social media. It really does mean a lot. Increases the reach, increases the love, and just, good vibes all around here at the Cash Game Festival once again. A lot of friendly faces, a lot of familiar faces. Kevin Mellon, you'll see there in seat 1, Joe Field in seat 8. And I'll just try and get some information for you guys on some of the TV players. Let's just have a look.
1 fold. 2 bets. 10. 3 folds.
So let's go for Joe first and foremost. As we mentioned earlier, the guy in seat 8 there, you can see on the right hand side of your screen. He's a professional poker player, about 25 years of age. He loves
5 folds.
the chance to play on the TV table. He likes to go back and review his own hands, that kind of thing. He started playing poker for fun. And just trying to earn a bit of money on the side, basically. He went to York University to do his degree there and got into poker in that way. And, his biggest achievement in poker is being able to maintain a living through playing cash games. A very feared cash game player, plays all over London, very, very regularly. Just said that he went out to Vegas as well. Took a couple of shots at some of the tournaments, had a couple of deep runs, so very well done to him there. Loves the TV table because it's a bit of extra excitement, it gets the pulses raising. I think some regular sort of cash game players, you can get into the situation where you're playing all the time, it just feels like another day at the office, whereas the TV table does really add that extra dynamic to it, and it's lovely to see people really enjoying themselves in that regard. His favourite hand is Ace-5 suited. He's bluffed off so much money with that hand, but he absolutely loves it. Good stuff. Right, let's have a look at folds round to Kevin. Ace-4 offsuit. From what we've seen so far, it looks like he's either going to limp or, yep, he opens that up. Very, very loose. Comfortable player. Kevin, having been a long-time player of the game, certainly comfortable way through the hand
Heads up.
quite well. So pretty standard call there with the suited 1-gapper on the button. Could be a candidate to raise. Graphics just catching up, but Kevin with the C-bet, I believe the player on the button has just flopped himself the open-ended straight flush draw, one of the biggest draws you can have in the game. And it's not Andrew, it's the button that we have.
4 ring raises.
And does he raise, does he call? He's almost got such a big draw that he kind of wants to keep some action in, Does raise. Kevin lets it go. Just the ace high, a little bit of a bluff C-bet there, just kind of feeling his way through the hand. And the player on the button shows the monster draw. Are we going to get a little rabbit hunt? We're not. At a climb. Tunes bouncing. Asper's 8-8 poker room. We've got about 15 tables running at the moment. I think we had about 20 to 25, maybe even reaching the dizzy heights of 30 yesterday. It was fantastic to see everyone having a great time playing some cash game action on that Friday night. Bringing you the chip counts there. Sam, the winner in the game so far, he's won £165, bought himself in for 500. But no particular massive pots of note thus far. I'm sure as people get a little bit more familiar with the TV table and their surroundings and the players, we will start to see the action bump up. So Kevin, ace-4 last time, pips that, gets himself the ace-queen this time, raised up to 12. That's quite a big sizing. I wonder if there's a straddle in play. Makes it 6 times the blind. Andrew folds a small blind with garbage, folds to the big blind, who is Amelia, and she's just going to call with ace-king. With her stack size, she's fairly short. I'd have liked to have been committing as much as my stack as possible. Puts herself in a tough spot now. She's got 2 overcards, a gut shot, and she's behind to the top pair, top kicker of Kevin. He's going to come in with the C-bet. I'm sure we're not going to see Amelia go anywhere for just 1 bet. £13, that's going to get a call. Looking for a jack, really. I think a jack would give her the most action. A king would maybe get 1 bet. And welcome back, Wacky Jackson, as we see the king on the river. So we had a bit of domination nation. The tables were turned, but she managed to seek vengeance on the river with that king. So that's going to be a small pot of 52 heading Amelia's way. No one has a spade, so that kind of dries up the action on that kind of run out. And she looks fairly happy to be pulling in that pot. Very well played. See if we can get some info on her. Not a player that I've seen before.
And the free roll information should be up now.
Yep.
The
Her name
password is
Amelia Riot.
Amelia Riot.
Well, what a name that is.
Wow.
Amelia the Riot Van Riot. So, 32 years of age from Poland. She's a compliance manager, and she just wants to come to the Cash Game Festival for the thrill and poker adventure. You never know who you might meet. Fantastic, opportunistic, positive attitude there. Love to see that. She heard about Cash Game Festival from receiving an email, so it's nice to see that some of the email comms are going out. That little marketing team would be happy with that one. Little win for the boys. And she's been playing poker since she can remember. She loved playing cards. When I found out about poker, she said that she was all over it. Where else can you sit for a table for 48 hours without feeling tired and loving every minute? Wow, I wasn't expecting that. So here we go. She is going to isolate the limp of the straddle, I'm guessing. Makes it 22 to go. Kevin in the straddle. I don't think he'll be going anywhere. He does?
He maybe recognized that Amelia hasn't played very many hands, even though this is her 2nd in a row, but she did just show down ace-king.
And she just flattered the the raise as well in the big blind, so she didn't go for a 3-bet with quite a small stack. So very astute play from Kevin there. Manages to get himself away, save himself a bit of money in the long run with that fold. Fair play. And she says that Amelia is the best female poker player in the Back Horse pub. She's won poker leagues, and there was a time where I was unbeatable for 6 months.
Wow.
I'm known for my aggression. I haven't seen that so far, but we'll let her adjust to her surroundings. And at times unpredictable play. I had to stop playing and focused on family and had a daughter. Fair enough.
Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah, congratulations. The daughter's name, Amaya. Is it the first TV table? She says the first but not the last. I really like her attitude, actually. Some of her replies seem super positive, so great stuff. She says that she likes the TV table because it's exciting and it's a wicked adventure. She'd like to think it'd be entertaining to watch thanks to her unique playing style, and she's also 5 months pregnant.
You can't tell that.
No, that's what she said. Wow.
8 folds.
Oh, I don't think I can believe that personally. There's no sign of it.
5 years pregnant. But
5 years
through
pregnant.
That another strings.
Oh, wow. You wouldn't have guessed that for sure. Her favourite hand is pocket 3s.
Take 1, checks.
Get some more information on the other players as the game develops. No problem there.
Kevin's gonna love this. I mean, he went in with the 10-6 and then 2-6 on the 2 6s on the flop. Sam and Andrew probably not going anywhere either. Andrew's probably gonna bet here because it's been checked around to him. With the overpair 23, Kevin's just gonna call along, I believe. And he'll probably fold back to Sam, who will probably also likely at least call to see a turn.
4 folds.
Dave lets it go.
Burger Burger with some good banter in the chat. He says he joined this site to meet poker players, and it's called Grindr. No one seems interested in the stream though. Weird. Good chat. Like I really enjoy that Burger Burger.
5 checks.
Poker Gremlin. Oh, what? Oh, we've got some old school tunes going on here. Wow.
If that's Burger Burger, that's a streamer, then
Oh, is it?
it might be. It might be.
All right. Just a little Trollsky in the chat.
Yes.
Lovely to hear. And
If it
Poker
is him,
Gremlin says
he participated in the online Cash Game Festival as a streamer as well.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Cool. When was that?
That was October 2016. So
Wow. Online cat. Which sites were you playing
it
on?
was on iPoker Skins,
Okay.
and basically everybody had a stream, and then at the end of each day there was a competition,
Right.
and then the winner of each competition then faced off for a finals for a package. And Dan Charlton won the
Dan
package
Charlton,
through
yeah.
there, and that's how Picasso became part of
Oh,
the
wow.
Cash Game Festival at times as well, because he came along with Dan.
Yeah.
So nothing doing for Sam here. Kevin weeding out. I'm not sure if Sam is just what he's thinking about here, or if he's just trying to balance his tank range.
And Burger Burger says, yeah, that is him. So
welcome,
good memory
Ferg.
you've got
There
there.
we
You've
go.
remembered a couple of
Very
familiar
nice guy.
names.
Very nice guy.
Are they only playing 8-handed? There was a couple of guys that came from quite far away to play the game. Were we able to get them in, or?
I believe so. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not sure who got in and who didn't, but they even made an announcement that there could be a feeder table as well.
Yeah. This doesn't look like to be running at the moment, but I'm sure everyone's having a good time playing on the outer tables.
Quite a bit of action early on a Saturday. There were 8 tables earlier. It looks like there's a couple more now.
Poker Gremlin going with the needle says, Burger Burger, a nice guy. When did that happen? Comes back with fake news. Password Chris1285 is free roll. And Van Howam Poo Poo. Thanks very much for joining, guys. Really appreciate everyone getting in the mix for this Cash Game Festival stream.
It's not often you see a pot one with 10-6 off, but we just did
No.
see one.
Little defend on the big blind, manages to come along, flops himself trips, improves to a full house on the turn, gets a little bit of that. Pulls at a decent sized pot, fair play to him. No problem. Thank you yourself for joining, that's what it's all about. I've got a Burger Burger Baby Burger.
A baby burger?
Baby Burger. Haven't streamed in a good while though due to the Baby Burger.
Well, congratulations to you too.
Yeah, very well done on that one, and congratulations. Hopefully your life is now filled with joy. What's it like having a child in the early stages?
Mine's 6 now, so
Yeah.
it's a blessing, you know.
Yeah.
It's like
Now you've got through all of the crying
yeah.
and the
he wasn't bad though. He would sleep through the night. I
Okay.
can't really complain.
Okay, awesome.
It was like that 2 to 3 year old stage where
Yeah.
he couldn't really express what he wanted to express, but could understand enough, you know.
Okay.
And you had that rebellion then, and now everything is good.
Cool.
1 fold.
How are the poker skills? Start training them up, or?
According to Fenton, he's probably better than me already. I don't know.
That says it all. Okay, still dropped a follow. Thanks very much. Dropped a follow on the Burger Burger stream. How often are you streaming? Have you got any future plans to have one in the next couple of months? I'd be interested in checking that one out.
Doesn't
And
say
good
Mark
point
Jacobson.
actually from R2RE. Please do drop us a follow ourselves, just to make sure that you get the full updates on when we will be going live. It gives you an email notification and also, I believe, a notification on Twitch.
Yeah.
If you've got the Twitch app on your phone, it's quite handy. I see the notification pops up at the top saying Cash Game Festival has gone live, and that allows you to jump straight into the action. 153 of you. Not too many in the chat though, so do please let us know what you're up to, and if you want to get any information on any particular player, if you've got any questions for us, let us know.
5 bets 8.
Burger Burger's Baby Burger is 8 months and still doesn't even nearly sleep halfway through the night.
That's going to hurt your poker life.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Yeah.
1 fold.
So Sam with the Very early position raise up to 8. Andrew decides to just flat call. Nope. Yep, flat call from +2 with the pocket jacks. I wouldn't mind seeing a 3-bet there, but I guess a call is okay.
Yeah, I'd certainly go with a mix of 3-betting and calling. I think I'd definitely err on the side of 3-betting for sure. But, oh, I've just seen his stack size as well. Yeah, with his stack size, I think it's a mandatory 3-bet. You want to be committing a stack really on a 2-2 game with 120 or so.
And he was just bet off the best hand right here, although Sam has a queen or a king to help him further. Tom is not sure what he's hoping for, I guess a 9, but now
or a
4.
5. A 4 would do.
3 checks. 5 checks.
So check, check.
Gabrielle 3131, thanks very much for joining. I'll just chuck the pass in for you now. I believe it is playoff. And R2RE might have followed you already because I'm talking here. Yes, we do have followers only in the chat, so do please give us a follow and let us know what you think of our Cash Game Festival stream.
It was Broadway for Sam here, though, and Tom betting into him.
Wow, what a gift. So Sam doing cartwheels in his head, I imagine, but trying to think of a raise sizing. Pumps it up to just over 3 times the bet. Tom with the out of position float turns itself into a bluff on the river. And yeah, completely no equity on the flop basically, just 7 high. And just to...
even a 9 may not help him, you know.
Very.
This is Jack Queen could be in that hand.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, he did have the bottom end of the gut shot, yeah. No problem, Gab. Thanks very much for getting involved.
After you go past about.
So Kevin playing a little more than half the hands pre-flop, or at least getting some money in half the hands. Amelia, who said she is very active, is near the bottom with 12% VPIP. So we'll see if we see a new gear from Amelia.
Yeah, she did say that she's an aggressive and tricky, unpredictable, she said, unorthodox kind of player. So interesting to see some of that. Could just be a bit of card distribution. Sometimes you don't really get as many hands as you'd have liked, etc.
5 folds. 6 folds. 7 folds.
Let's see what Joseph's raise sizing will be. We've seen 11 be so 10 this time around, but we've seen a lot of 11 raises.
8, 10, 11. We've had all sorts, haven't we? So he makes it 10. Looks like it's going to fold round to the big blind, and big gutting for Joseph there, having picked up a premium on a Cash Game Festival stream. Just picks up the blinds. 4 quid coming his way. And a bit of a kick in the gut, that one. We've been live for over an hour, and we should have had 120 millilitres of water. Have you?
I had about 20 milliliters of water.
Yeah, not too bad. You're on the way. I've had 3/4 of a Diet Coke, so I'm not sure how much that counts. Probably nothing, I'm guessing. Johnny Bryce 77, mate. If you just look at the 2 posts above you, you'll see that the password is playoff. For all of you guys that are new to the stream, 165 of you, so I'm sure that sometime, for some of you guys, this is your first rodeo. Please do not spam us with the requests for the free roll password. If you just scroll up,
8 bets 10.
you'll be able to see it there. The password is playoff.
1 calls.
Is this Lionel Richie?
It sounds like
Yeah,
it.
it did. Oh, what a feeling!
A little bit of 1980s at Asper's.
Absolutely, they really mix it up here. It goes from like House to Ed Sheeran to Lionel Richie to goodness knows what.
It looks like a big family pot here.
4.
Nobody really having much of anything. I like Kevin 7-6 suited. Well, Sam has
5
something.
raises.
Ricardo raising to 10 with the mystery card. So we're getting an update on the graphics. It's going to be less family now with Sam 3-betting to 60. That should chase just about everybody out of the way. We don't know what Ricardo has. Kevin does opt to call. Stacks are deep between him and Sam, so. And his 7-6 can flop pretty well, especially since it's suited.
2 folds.
So R2RE says stream's good. He likes to watch the poker streams, and thanks very much for that. Good feedback. Would suggest getting a headset over ear mic. Could be a good idea actually going forward. Yeah. We've got the.
I'll try to sit a little closer to the mic as well.
So great flop for Sam. Comes in for a 3-bet from the blinds, I believe. Flops himself top pair, top kicker on a pretty dry board, which is nice. Tom, swing and a miss. 3 over cards. It's going to be tough for him to continue. Kevin's just got himself some backdoor straight draw, backdoor flush draw type potential, but I don't really know what the decision is. Yeah, it's going to be a fold. Tom on the button lets it go as well. Nice little move there from the big blind. Well played, Sam. Pumps it up, flops pretty well, takes it down. That's going to be a £279 pot coming his way.
And a bit of a loose call pre-flop by Tom, I feel, there with the pocket threes. He doesn't have that much behind. He called for an extra 40.
It's about a quarter of a stack, maybe just over. Yeah, probably a little bit too loose there. Certainly a trap that a lot of players fall into, just calling too much with pocket pairs, where pairs from like deuces to fives, you're kind of just hoping to hit, basically. Apart from that, you got no shot. Hey, Lionel's pumping it in the building.
So it looks like a couple of players decide to get up and stretch. David at least did, the player in seat 6 as well.
It's not a bad idea, because even like as you say that, my posture is horrible. You know, I'm sat forward all day. It's nice just to get the shoulders nice and loose. Oh, Christ. And did you hear that little click?
Yeah.
And Ikai Bet, thanks very much for joining us. The password is above. It is playoff. So we got that €500 free roll on Unibet. We got a €500 free roll on 32 Red. We've just got free rolls coming out of our ears, guys. Just for you. Just for you. Exclusive to the Twitch chat. And I hope that you reap the benefits of that. We had a guy that was quite active in the chat the other day. He won the Unibet free roll on Wednesday for €57. €57 cash money free in your pocket. So I'm guessing about 100 up top in the 500 Unibet free roll later. Certainly worth a go. I'll be playing it. I'll keep you updated with the bad beat stories and as such. I did. No problem, Akai Bet, just put that in for you now. Usually the command is exclamation mark free roll if you do need that password.
So this should be an easy pull for Tom, but even though he's ahead here, let's see what happens. He may be able to put Kevin on a flush draw as well.
I think he probably has to fold.
And he does.
Yeah.
And is Kevin going to show anything? Sometimes Kevin likes to show one.
He does, yeah. I think he looks like he's flicked one over at least. Yeah, good fun, it's Kevin. Great for the game. Always got a positive attitude, having a good time, whether he's winning, losing, or...
So Sam is still the big winner so far. His profits up to 326 less rake.
Bad beat stories from free rolls. A little bit of tongue-in-cheek there, Burger, but absolutely. Tune in later on as I tell you about how I lost with Ace King.
Kevin back to the limping, it looks like. Unless he's in the blinds.
And Tom's got the perfect hand to bump things up. Ooh, a little bit of a pre-flop cooler situation here. Is David going to go 10 for 10 or is he going to re-raise? Always looks a bit fishy when you've raised a limp, so I think a lot of people like to take over the aggression from there. Yep, David goes to 31.
31.
And an interesting one for Tom here. Does he decide to 4-bet or does he decide to flat call? I don't mind a 4-bet. I think as soon as you've raised a limp and now Kevin overcalls as well, certainly enough money in there to be sort of basically committing yourself. I think a shove's too much. Has he just called? No. I don't know. What do you think about that one? I think it's a little bit weak.
A little bit weak, but it's
A lot of dead money in the pot.
it's because of also the players involved. It's Kevin just calling on. You can't be too concerned with him, and David is going to be 3-betting quite a lot here. You know,
Yeah.
it's part of the range.
Both players flop over pairs, and Kevin's flop top pairs. So
Could see a big pot here.
yeah, I think it's going to go. Kevin calls. What? Kevin's not folded. I'd like to have seen a shove there from Tom personally. I don't know about you.
I would have liked to have seen it as well.
Yeah, he wants to
At this
deny
point-
equity to hands like overcards, flush draws.
Okay, Kevin did call.
Yeah,
Which
no,
then-
Kevin put in a pink chip, and I think Kevin's committed himself on the turn, which I don't particularly like, but it might get one of these guys to fold. I don't think he's going to get it through both. And this is why you should shove the flop, because your hand is super under-repped when you just flat the 3-bet free. So I think once you're in this spot, I think Kevin is sure that he has the best hand at
Yeah,
this point. I
yeah.
think he just thinks that he's got the best hand and he's going with it.
And or he might feel, at least in Tom's case, he can bet him off some things as well. You know, because he could be repping 2-pair, he could be repping quite a lot of things here, but Tom has to get it in. He does. Now David has a really tough spot. If this was all in on the flop, it would be probably a call on the turn. I'm not so sure. I mean, I don't really like my tens too much here if I'm in David's seat.
Yeah, just going back to thinking about shoving the jacks on the flop, maybe. Oh, he does fold. It's a terrible board for David to see bet, actually, isn't it? So
Yes.
maybe it is the astute play to just flat there. It's tough in live dynamics when you've got someone overcalling with Queen 9. You know, you don't really know what's going on. So Kevin's got himself 9%. He needs a 9 or a Queen. Seb in the chat calling for a 7. Always coming 7. Got the 6 of spades on the river. That's no help to Kev. He sees the bad news. Pocket Jack's going to scoop that pot. £423 profit coming Tom's way. Red Storm NL, hey yourself. If you are new, we've got ourselves a €500 free roll on Unibet, as you can see in the background there. One of our main sponsors / affiliates this week. And 32 Red as well. They're going to be hosting a €500 free roll. So keep your eyes peeled on that. We've just given out the free roll password for Unibet. It is Playoff. PLAYOFF. So chuck that one into Unibet. Jump yourself into the action. And if you see a guy called Terry Two-Pair, that is yours truly.
Terry Tooper.
Yeah, Terry Two-Pair.
Where is that from?
It just sounds like a bit of a punter, doesn't it? You know?
Yes.
I wouldn't say it's inspired by our friend Terry from yesterday's stream, but I don't know. When I used to bet, I used to have a joke that, you know, accumulators and sort of muggy bets like that, I used to call them people that bet on them Terry Tenfolds. So Terry Two-Pair, Terry Tenfold sounds a bit muggy, and I think people don't give me as much credit as maybe I should deserve. So I've got a couple actually. You can have aliases or 5 aliases on Unibet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I've fold you punk, all in caps, because from what I've seen of people's online names, people that tend to have like a 4 instead of an A and all in caps are just absolute psychos. Do you know what I mean? When they've got their name all in caps and it's like instead of an A they've got a 4, instead of an E they've got a 3 and things like that.
They're usually the ones in the chat box.
Yeah, as a population
being a bit
read,
weird.
they just seem to be complete psychos. So I've sort of cashed in on some of that action as well. That Queen 9 overcall is spectacular. More calls for 7 in the chat. Got the emojis out. Yeah, Burger not too keen on it either, but Kev is Kev. I'm sure he won't be feeling that loss too much. Free roll underneath, UK Poker Room. Sean, thanks very much for getting involved. We did give, I think, how many seats did we give away to the cash game tournament hybrid earlier?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Henry would know those.
We gave a lot of seats out yesterday, and that was through the affiliation that we had with Sean. So thanks very much. He runs, if you guys haven't checked out, a Facebook group called UK Poker Room. So please do get yourselves over to that. There's plenty of giveaways actually done all the time in affiliation with things like Genting, Grosvenor, etc. So we gave out some value. Henry manages to win one of those ones himself. He spun 100 quid up to 425. And at the moment, you guys wondering where he is, he's out having some lunch with the Unibet guys. So dinner. So he'll be back very soon. Alam01555, thanks very much for joining. Jeffrey's back after a bit of an absence. Jeffrey's back for 45 minutes. Awesome. Before I could go to the home game. Awesome. So he's got himself done. Sat down to enjoy a bit of Cash Game Festival action. We haven't seen too many big pots. We saw that one with Jacks versus the Queen 9 there. And David manages to get away from 10s. And Scarfez asking for the password. If you have a look at literally 5 posts above you, you'll see that the password is playoff. I can see Ed now. I'm just having a look at Ed's stat. He didn't get stacked, did he?
He must have gone to the dinner. I see a few of the other people that were at the dinner back as well.
Go to the dinner? Oh, okay.
We have confirmation that, yes, he did go to the dinner.
We got the heads up on that. Ferger Burger, thanks for chucking the command in for Alan. And Scarfez as well. Looks like we've got a decent amount of people signed up for the free roll by the looks of all the interest. So thanks very much for joining, 152 of you, as we cut to Kevin, who's put out a little feeler bet of £5.
A Franke bet.
Should be enough to get it done, I think, on that board. Yeah, a Franke, yeah. The only thing with Franke is you never know whether it's going to be an overbet or another 5 on the turn, you know, so that's the beauty of the £5 bet.
Score 1 to 2, yeah.
So stack's about the same as when we last looked at them. Sam and Tom both building up their stacks.
Thanks very much, Sean. He's just shared our link on the UK Poker Room. I think they've got upwards of 10,000 members. So
yeah, it's quite a big room.
Hopefully, if you guys are tuning in from UK Poker Room, hello, please do make yourselves welcome. We like to promote a fun and friendly atmosphere at the Cash Game Festival, not only online but in the live realm as well. Plenty of people coming back year after year, and a great case study, actually, Kevin himself. It must be his upwards of 6 or 7 Cash Game Festivals he's been to, so great to see him. And speak of the devil, he's opened things up to 12 in the hijack, flops himself top pair, jack kicker with a backdoor flush draw, backdoor straight draw, goes for a c-bet, or does he? Yeah, he does. And David's come along with king 9 off. I'm not sure what his plan is here, whether he's going for the old cool flop, check turn and goes for a bet. It's a bit speculative, I think. If he's calling a lot of hands like that on an ace-high board, I don't mind calling backdoor flush draws, and especially strong backdoor flush draws, but on an ace-high board, it's such a lockdown board where your opponent has such a big range advantage over you. It's going to be super easy for them to just fire a barrel with basically anything that they have, you know, on that turn.
Especially against Kevin.
Yeah, you can't have ace-king, you can't have ace-queen, you can't really have aces, you can't have lots of strong hands that your opponent can have. So I think a little bit too loose there for the call on the flop.
Hand number 33 already, so it's moving quite along at a nice pace.
Captain Bozers asked us an interesting question. What would you suggest as a good bankroll management for 1-1 live cash with 200 big blind cap? How much should I buy in for, and how much does that affect the B bankroll management? Yeah, good question actually. For 1-1 live, I think you can go a little bit more aggressively than Ferger Burger is saying. Maybe that would be if you were like a professional or doing it to sort of keep afloat, as it were. But I think that 1-1 live is such a sort of loose kind of passive game, especially here at Aspers. You could get away with having a 2K roll and playing that game, I think. I don't think that you would experience too many downswings to the point where that would be eradicated. I think 2K is more than enough to play 1-1 live. For 1-2, certainly 5K, 4-5K, taking some shots maybe if you had a 2 to 3K roll for sure.
It depends on what you're buying in for, though. If you're buying in for 200 a clip, I think 2,000 is a little light. But if you're buying in for 100 a clip, I think 2,000 is definitely reasonable.
Yeah, for sure. I buy in for I always buy in for 200 big blinds because I feel you want to have the weaker players at the table covered. So I think, maybe 3K with
seems more,
15
for
buy-ins.
It seems pretty reasonable.
15 deep buy-ins as well. And how often do you get stacked in live cash if you're a decent player? Not that often, you know. So, so pass please, Shahiri. Can you say that?
Which one here?
Shahir Rifan.
Yeah, well, it's the only time you can start in a range.
Yeah, buying for the max, completely agree. It's already such a rake trap, especially 1-1. Yeah, I'd be playing 1-2 because you usually get 5% rake on 1-2 with 10% on 1-1, right?
But I do tend to agree with Bergberger that 5K is a good, let's say 1-2, 2-2 kind of.
It's a decent
if you're
roll.
buying in for 100 big blinds, I typically say 25 buy-ins is your safety zone.
I wouldn't want to be a professional playing with that much money, though. I think you'd probably want a little bit more just to make sure that you've got money for bills and whatever.
And if you get a backing deal, you need 0. You know, there you go.
Exactly right. I've got a couple of mates that play for. I think it's not standard backing. It's what's the one that's kind of taken over almost the
BRS?
BRS, yeah. Got a couple of guys. They said that the opportunities there are great, and you know they're doing a lot of things with Party Poker Live as well. So they get staked in the live cash games at D2D and things like that. They get to go to Rosvedov and play these big events that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. There's some interesting opportunities out there. I don't know about you. Have you ever been backed?
I've been on both ends of it. I've backed and been backed.
Yeah, same. Have you ever had any shady stuff happen
I
to you?
have people that owe me money still from years ago.
Well, a lot of money, or?
So one owes enough money where if I had it, I'd be happy.
Oh, really? Wow.
And that was with like a team of 3, so enough on my share that we'd be happy. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I won't ask how much, but that sounds pretty sizable, and that's the problem with the poker world. You know, I'm quite trusting and wouldn't say naive, but just a positive and trusting person, and I've been certainly taken to the cleaners by a couple of, let's say, opportunistic characters in the poker sphere.
But shout out to United Kingdom's Thomas Ward, a cash game player, but has also done well at the UK IPTs back when.
Yep.
I was backing him for quite a while with a friend, and
He's
we
doing
did
well
quite
for you.
well with him.
Yeah.
This is years ago. You know, now he's on his own, but we did quite well with him.
Do they still run the UK IPTs?
They call them now something else, but it's the same thing.
Okay, cool. Bit of a rebrand. 2 pair on the river for Andrew. Very inconspicuous pot developing here. Sam with a decision. Sorry, Andrew's bet 6. Yeah, Sam with a decision. Probably going to be a fold. I like it. Do you know ABZ and BRS? He tries to keep on the down low, but rumour has it he won a platinum pass. Wow, we were. How does that work if you won like a platinum pass whilst you were backed? Would you have to give up some of that?
You'd probably talk about it before you won it, and it would probably then depend on how you won it. If you won it, like let's say, like as part of a tournament that you were being backed to play, then I think yes, it should be part of it. But if you won it, like, you know, for something like a deposit bonus, or you know, they do it for different things, and I think that's all yours.
Okay, cool.
It really depends. And then you should discuss these things with your backer, and a backer should discuss these things with their
Otherwise,
with
it's
their
only going
stable.
to be issues, right? Yeah.
Exactly. If it's all clear up front, there's no issues.
For sure.
Some might be like the tournament is on the stake, but we're not going to worry about the hotel and the cash and the spending money and all that. So it varies quite a lot.
Did you read Dara O'Kearney's blog recently?
Yeah,
about scammers and people.
I was trying to figure out who he was talking about, but I couldn't, because he was being like, he was giving hints.
He was being quite subtle. But then he said the player. Do you remember the hand from the main event? Quite a famous hand, where it was like Max something. He had ace-6 offsuit against the aces of Sean Deeb.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the guy that had scammed him, I think.
And he's not alive anymore, so that's...
yeah.
That one I figured out. There was another one, though.
Yeah. He won a platinum pass in the tournament. He wasn't backed by the group. I bought a piece of him in it, though, so I've got 5% of the platinum pass in January. Wow, what a score.
Bad. There's going to be a lot of added value in that. I think an extra $1 million being added, and there's going to be a lot of inexperienced players, let's say even in a 1K event, let alone a 25K buy-in event.
They've been dishing them out left, right, and centre, haven't they?
They plan to give away around 300, so...
Wow.
Race 30.
I imagine the cash games will be good there as well, but...
Calls the turn.
Too far for me to travel, for sure.
Heads up.
And Joseph with a very speculative raise, but he was on the undergun straddle, and it looks like Kevin is on the double straddle.
35.
And he's continuing along. I don't mind this. Kevin may decide to float, he may decide to fold. He does fold. Joseph hasn't really gone out of line at all, so I don't mind Kevin not putting any more money in the pot. If his opponent does have something, it's not that Kevin's really drawing to anything here. He's just floating to try to take it down on another street if he did float.
Yeah, and Joe takes that one down. He's been fairly quiet, not had a lot of hands. I think, from what we've seen on this table, one of the sort of lesser action games so far, I'd say.
It started off like with a lot of action with Ed and David.
Oh, Ed was playing and driving
Ed left,
it.
and David decided to slow down a little bit. It does look like they're having a lot of fun, though. Lots of smiles, lots of laughs, and that's what it's all about.
Oh, a couple of players won platinum passes. Wow, you can win one playing a GPS main. That's like a 440 comp with just 25k added up top. You know, like the up top wouldn't even be that.
That doesn't get like
that's nuts.
the sick amount of players. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it will do. I think there's a GPS in Luton this week. It might be a mini though, so I don't think they might have given it out. You won a platinum pass in the tournament. Yeah, we've covered that. Fergerberger's buddy won his in Luton. Not really told anyone about it. Well, it's a bit late now. The cat's out of the bag, unfortunately. Glad they used the money they stole from Supernovas wisely. Ooh, Jeffrey in there with the shots fired. But a very valid point, actually. You know, that the reward system is just a complete joke on that site these days, isn't it, really? There's nothing else to be said about how poor it is and how exploitative it is of the poker community. Although, you know, if you are a betting man, I wouldn't bet against that share price of a Maya group going up and up and up, you know, Stars group.
It's not that I have an issue with them changing their policy, although I don't like it from a player perspective. It's that I have an issue of how they did screw over the people going for Supernova Elite. They were promised one thing, and then you're basically playing for rewards for the following years. They should have at least gotten something in line with what kind of rewards they could have gotten, and then they've been cut off and put them in some kind of like grandfather type of clause. Even if it comes close, it's something. Meanwhile, they said we don't care about you, and it affected their live events as well because it did that. So they're trying to make up for it, but it's not with the same player base, you know. So
very fishy, very fishy.
Jeffrey understands what I'm saying. He's saying the same thing now that I'm looking down at the chat.
What's up, guys? Tower1891, thanks so much for joining. I hope that's not your date of birth, because you'd be very, very old indeed. Let us know what you're up to. Thanks very much. 150 bang on, guys. Let's see if we can bump that up to 200. Really appreciate some shares, some likes on social media. You can go for facebook.com/cashgamefestival. We put a couple of posts up there today. Feel free to share that. Feel free to share the link if you're watching one of your friends in the game, or just if you're enjoying the stream. Really like to hear some feedback as well, so do let us know what you think. Yeah, Supernova Elites did get screwed completely, and it's a 2-year program, exactly. Jeffrey, did you ever get to that kind of level of Stars rewards? He plays a lot of sit and goes, I believe.
It's
Jeffrey
really
said.
hard with sitting goes.
Yeah, I was going to say, right. He
Unless
might
you're
have been able
playing
to get
higher
to.
stakes.
Might have been able to
sitting
get to platinum, or what was the
Yeah.
one below Supernova?
It was. He could have gone to Supernova, but not
Yeah.
Supernova Elite.
Yeah.
Race 35, sit 8, +1, +5.
And happy Bastille Day, everybody. If you are French and watching us, we didn't forget about you as well. It is July 14th.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
I did take a look for an article that I wrote today about who I felt were the top 5 French poker players, and the top 4 were pretty easy, and then the 5th one I just kept going back and forth.
Okay,
I
so who did
come
you,
up with
who
the
did you
5.
come up with?
Well, Elke is number 1. It should be
Yeah.
probably number 1 on everybody's list, and then
Sylvain Loosely?
he was number 5.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I could have put him higher.
Yeah.
Um,
Elke, Loosely. There was another really good player.
Let's see how many you can get.
I'm thinking. Oh, I keep thinking of Canadian players because they've got French names, haven't they? Like Marc Antoine or whatever.
Race 10,
What's his name?
sit 3.
Does it include anyone that's had a deep run this year in the main?
+4,
Yes.
5.
Yeah. Is it Benjamin?
Benjamin Pollock, yes,
Yeah.
he was number
Benjamin
2 on the
Pollock.
list.
7.
Yeah, I can't think off the top of my head. Who else you got?
We also have David Benjamin, who
Oh,
was
of
kind of a
course.
dark horse
Yeah.
because he hasn't been playing as much lately, but
Is he good or is he a bit of a whale?
he was actually pretty
Yeah.
good. He was also a multi-counter online, so we don't
was
know
he?
exactly how good he was. He
Yeah.
had a lot of accounts,
Yeah, yeah.
but he was also on a lot of TV shows playing the high stakes games back when.
Call 1.
He's just there more for historical purposes rather than current purposes,
Yep.
and that's one I had issue with. Elke, Benjamin Pollock, Antoine Stout
Yep.
was number 4, and Benjamin was number 3, and I put
Oh,
Loosely.
Soulier. Fabrice Soulier is a very good player.
Yeah, he got an
yeah.
honorable mention, and that's who I wanted
Yeah.
to put in 5 because he's such a nice guy and so good for the
is.
game, Fabsol.
Yeah.
And we know a bit about his online results, where a lot of these other guys outside of Elke, we have no idea what they did online.
What the hell's going on there? Yeah.
And I wanted to include him, and there's a lot of other great names that we could have chosen as well.
Jeffrey says Rui Caro, the most underrated French player.
I did give Rui a honorable
yeah.
mention.
Did you, yeah?
Yes,
Nice.
yes, and I gave Gail Bauman an honorary mention, even
Oh,
though her
she-
results aren't as big as the others. If you've watched her play, she's
had a hell of a lot of
she
deep
has
runs
a
in the
good,
main.
sharp mind. Yes.
Yeah. Sharp mind. Who else? There's another female French player, or am I thinking?
Yes, there is one. She didn't get a mention, but I think she's actually been to a cash game festival as well.
Oh no, that Maria girl is not French, is she?
No.
No.
But
Oh, she's
Lucille,
Greek, isn't
Kali.
she? Sorry.
Lucille Kali. I don't
Oh,
know if you
okay.
recognize that name, but she was at a cash game festival actually here once.
+6.
I was laughing because I didn't realise that Rui Caro was actually French. Did what? Let's have a look.
He
that's
is French.
That's blown my
Sit
mind.
8.
Ludovic Leke also got a mention,
one.
and Roger Harabedian, and I can always have a little bit of trouble pronouncing his name.
Yeah. Wow, look at those results from Rui Caro. Second
up.
and a fifth. Second for 1.68 million.
That's why it
Jesus.
was hard. Like, do you include a Benjamin who's not relevant today, but he was, basically so relevant back when?
Yeah.
12. sit
I mean,
8.
he's like
And
a
his results
poker
are big overall.
celebrity.
So, yeah.
in the fray.
He helped bring poker to France along with Elke. I would say the two of them and,
Yeah.
and the Boom.
What's the poker games like over there? Have any of you guys played in France? Let us know what you think. Well, have you played there?
I've only played on the online French sites. So I
Okay.
haven't-
Well, like
I did play
Winamax and
once in
stuff.
Paris, but it's too long ago to know what it's like.
Yeah.
I have an account there, and
Okay.
I had one at PokerStars France until they closed it, but now I have one at the
25,
Spanish
okay.
site,
Oh, that's a
which
gold
is
mine.
connected to the French players. So
Yeah,
I'm
that's a
back in
gold
again.
mine.
But I'm not playing that much online anymore.
That kind of mid-European zone in general, not famed for good players, but as you say, that list there, a lot of sharp minds on that one. Winamax is a great site, completely agree. Serb and Flory, the password is playoff, Playooff. And do we know where the players come from geographically?
Most of them are UK.
Yep.
Kevin is from Ireland.
Yeah,
and we
Amelia's
know-
Polish.
Yes.
Joseph's definitely from England. Kevin Ireland, Sam.
David is British as well.
Yeah. Sam Bentham.
That sounds very British.
Very British, yeah. Yeah, he's actually works in actuary. He's 24, he's from the UK. Prefers seat 5, loves to be in the middle of the action, obviously. Loves coming for the poker. Started playing in 2014 and 2015, he said, properly. I always find that people give that kind of answer. They're like, well, I started playing then, but I started playing then properly.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, no, you started playing when you started playing, you know.
I had that yesterday when I did a nice interview with Vince Stewart.
Yeah.
And we were chatting, and it's like, yeah, I've been playing for 20 years, but I've been playing for 10
Right.
years.
Yeah. As in professionally or naturally studying.
Or
and
taking it more seriously,
Yeah.
like, and then comfortable enough when he needed to fall into it as a job that he felt comfortable doing it.
And yeah, Sam turned 100 into 2.5k on a live cash table. That's a huge.
Yeah, that's nice.
That must have been a hell of a game. Let me know where you're playing, Sam. I'll come up for the weekend. It's his first TV table, so good stuff to see. His favourite hand is obviously aces. You don't understand people who say anything else. I like winning, so ace is favourite hand. And he likes TV table because everyone wants to pull off a huge bluff on stream, right? Absolutely. Started playing poker because he likes games. He likes the strategic element of it. He's tried everything. He's tried Magic the Gathering. He's tried poker, chess, Pokemon. Various computer and board games. Poker is impossibly deep and complex. It's why it's stuck. And I think that that's a lot, often the reason that we get, isn't it? Because poker is an unsolvable game in many ways. Obviously,
Yes.
heads up, you could argue, is solvable, but, you know, 8 max, as we've got live, No Limit Hold'em. Just a beautiful game with so many different decisions, and it's just such an engaging process, isn't it, playing poker? It's kind of almost a beautiful form of escapism in the way, because you're able to just kind of get into the hand, get into the strategy, and completely forget about what else is going on in the world. You know, that's why I love it as well.
Limit Hold'em is certainly solvable by a computer, but not No Limit. Not yet, anyway. Heads up, as you said,
Limit.
is there's, but Limit and Limit is less decisions on the bet sizing,
Yeah,
less involved with the bluffing, more about the math.
yeah. Do they still play big limit games in Vegas?
Sometime online and in Vegas. Okay.
Miles away.
Sorry, guys, if I was outside. We do not have our picture up.
Yep. Just having a look at some of the players. Who else have we got? So we've got Ricardo. Let's have a look, see if we can get some information on Ricardo there. No, doesn't look like. Some people don't like to, keep a low profile. They don't like to give us all of the answers for the questions and things like that. That's fair enough. It's everyone each to their own. And where are we? So we've got Tom Leon, Malone, Andrew Kennett, Amelia Riot, great name. David Capel. Let's have a look at David Capel. See if we can get some-
David's a regular here.
Yeah. He's not done anything either.
Raise 10, sit 2.
And Ricardo is likely to raise here. Raises to 10 from the cutoff. Kevin will limp call here most likely with Jack 8 suited.
I just saw that Edgar's has put his job down as fisherman, which I believe is a great way of saying professional poker player, right? I had deep sea diver at Sky Poker on my Facebook page.
Check, sit 1.
Whale hunting.
So likely Kevin's just going to instantly give up. And Ricardo can't be too upset about that with that flop.
And Sean's asking what other streams are you doing today, lads? We've got ourselves a 5-5 PLO later. I usually am a bit of a Hold'em man, but certainly having a bit more of an affinity towards PLO these days. It just seems such a beautiful game with even more possibilities. And Jeffrey's saying, did you see that there is a PLO solver as well? Monka, Matrix, etc. Wow. No, I haven't seen a PLO solver. Let me know by a private message or something if you've got any access to that kind of thing. That sounds pretty fucking sick. PLO for the win. Nick Mack, thanks very much for joining us. Monka, Matrix, etc. Good to hear from you. 141 of you in the stream. Do please share us on Facebook and Twitter. We're also on YouTube at youtube.com/cashgamefestival. We do all the social media sites, as you can see along the bottom of your screen right now.
Last one.
Got ourselves a €500 free roll for you guys. That's going to be €500 of free cash money up for grabs. Not just from Unibet, but also from 32 Red as well.
32 Red are having two 2K free rolls, but it's for their longer term
I see.
players. But
Yeah.
you should know about them anyway because they're both at 8 o'clock. One is for their top biggest, 8 biggest grinders, so
Yep.
very easy to win a package. It's a package worth 1,500 to the top,
Absolutely.
500 to everybody else to share, and that's just simply by grinding on 32 Reds. They'll be hosting another one next month.
Yep.
And then the next one is they have another one at the same time for the next best 32 players. Same idea. You don't even have to rake much to get involved in that
Well,
one.
exactly. I think Nick said you could potentially play maybe 5 or 6 sessions and get yourself in that, and that's, you know, big value added. That's two 2K free rolls where first place is going to pick himself up a Cash Game Festival package.
Sorry to cut you off here,
Whoa.
but look at this.
Yeah, this is sick. This is super sick. We've got a set over set situation. Joseph's opened it up. Joe Field. He's bet the flop. He's turned gin. David now, I think the board is getting a little bit dicier. He doesn't want to lose his customer. Or, you know, we're talking what he should be thinking, which is not that the other person has a better hand, because obviously they don't that often. And it's Joe's turn to do cartwheels in his head. He's going to be calling for sure.
Don't Hollywood. Just get your chips
Beats
in.
sevens, beats
There we go.
fours, beats 10-8, beats 10-7 suited. Beats a lot of hands, you know.
So sick. So
They're
sick.
very, very sick. Quite a big shove as well, actually. That's, you know, just shy of 200 big blinds flying in the middle from David, who just had enough of the board getting a bit dicey and was like, right, I'm all of it. So Joe, I don't think will be folding, but it is one of those spots where you start to mull over the possibility that your opponent could have a straight. Jack 9 gets there, 6-5 gets there.
You can never fold here.
No, I don't think so. Because you beat a lot of value hands as well, which is the most important thing.
He is thinking about something. I mean, I don't think this is Hollywooding.
No.
It wouldn't make any sense. It's a very dry board, though. I mean, as you said, 9 Jack, 5-6 is possible. There's no suits. He's not doing that usually with something like pocket tens. I mean, I guess he does have something to think about, but he can't fold here.
No. He's like super high up in his range, you know, like there's just no way I think he can let it go. Just, I like that. Joe's a live pro, just fishing for a bit of info. Having a bit of a laugh with him, maybe asking him a couple of questions. I think David after this tank is just like 99% sure he has the best hand, so it's going to be pretty brutal for him if he gets called and sees that he only has one out. Bit of passion in the chat. Born to Die 1234 saying Ultriculi, 4 River, Borgodio. We've got no idea what that means, but guessing he's rooting for a 4. And yeah, Jeffrey says he can't even have 10-10. Vahalmo Pupu is a slow roll. Yeah, I think it is a little bit of a slow roll, don't you?
It might be that these two know each other as well, but I don't think so. It generally looks like he's thinking about it.
The problem is like this is never a bluff.
Bit when he loses, so let's just see what happens.
The problem is this is never a bluff. So Joe's thinking, you know, I block a lot of 2-pair type hands. He might have raised a set on the flop. So now this turn brings in straights into play. You know, would he just shove a straight like this, though, do you think, or not? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It's not that, you know, Joseph has shown aggression throughout the hand, but then you string it along a little bit further. There's no flush possibility.
Yeah.
What are you worried about if you have 5-6? I guess maybe the 9, but you're not just going to be going all in case a 9 comes up. And certainly 9 Jack, you're not doing this, and I don't think you're doing this with pocket 10s. So
no.
I mean, I think
exactly.
even if you're putting him on the strong hands,
range.
it's 4s and 7s.
Yeah. Flick it in, Joe. Come on, mate.
Or 2 pairs like 10-7, 10-8.
Maybe he's just trying to get a bit of TV time for the guys and girls back home. I would have called off 5 minutes ago. Sean's chips would have been in the middle, and we are awaiting the call. There it is. I think we all know the call was coming. It's just a matter of how long. I like a bit of atmosphere. I like a bit of attitude and a little bit of charisma in the chat. So do please keep it up with whatever you're talking about. That's what they call a slow roll. Very easy call. Most of the chat is in agreement that maybe he'd shove 6-5 there.
Yeah.
That's what Jeffrey says. But like the nuttier straights, I don't think would go for that sizing. You really don't want to lose your customer with a hand like a straight.
It generally looked like he wasn't slow rolling. So like just because it's a quick call for us doesn't mean he was doing anything wrong.
I mean, I think it was only like 2 minutes maybe at max, and he's just going through the realms, and if you do play for a living, you don't want to make those mistakes, because if you work and whatever and you're earning your salary outside of poker, a couple of £100 here and there isn't the biggest deal in the world, because you're just going to get a pay packet anyway. I know for a fact that Joe plays for a living, and it means a lot more. You have to really put things together and just make sure you're not making any silly mistakes, because ultimately that affects your livelihood. So raise on the button with Ace King. Lovely spot here for Sam.
It looks like there has to be some straddles
might
here.
Get himself a light 3-bet from Joe as well, and does.
Raise 110.
So Ace 9 off. I like some 3-betting. I like some folding in this kind of spot. I don't know about yourself.
3-bet up to 110 though.
Yeah, and he's going to. What? He's just been flattered. Okay, so Sam elects to kind of slow play his hand. The only problem is he does allow Joe the betting lead. I'm guessing it's going to go C-bet call on this flop. Sam's got just way too much equity to against Joe's range to be able to consider a fold, just a 1-bet. Looks like 135.
Pot is getting very big very fast.
This is actually pretty big pot because of the double straddle in play, and yeah, that's too weak from Sam. I really don't like that line. If you are going to flat Ace King, it's because you're happy to keep in all of the worst Ace-X hands in your opponent's range, because maybe you want to kind of cooler them on an Ace-High board, or you're playing it for sort of disguise or deception. If you're not happy playing post-flop and you're not going to call boards like that, then you should just be 4-betting every time, I think.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, a bit of a nitty fold on that flop with Ace King. 2 live overs to pairs. You've got yourself backdoor flush draw. You've got Ace High, which is usually good as well. Plenty of reasons to be playing there. If I'd seen that on stream, or I was playing in this game and someone had said, "Oh, by the way, that guy folded Ace King there," I'd be putting it in his eye basically every other pot. Because you really need to sort of take advantage of people that are playing kind of that conservatively, as it were. So David, on to the next hand, raises it up. Looks like we've got another straddle in play. People are getting a little bit looser. Bumps things up to 15. Pocket sixes, pretty standard. Looks like he's going to get no action whatsoever. And that's going to be a quick pot. We're really rifling through him, actually. Apart from that tank from Joe on the river, we've been getting a decent amount of hands in. Emilio went to showdown 50%. Ricardo 0. Haven't really seen him do too much. And Sam in seat 5, who we just saw fold the Ace King on the flop, 10%. So story checks out with that in that regard. Yeah, password Fate922. Thanks very much for joining. Yes, C-bet was massive, but you still got to call. You still got to call at least one, for sure. That's what I said last time. England have nice national team. Chinsky Wawa. Is that how you say it? Is it Chizink Wawa? Chinchuk Wawa. Asper's blasting out the tunes as usual. We're here for the 4th of 5 Cash Game Festival days. Got yourselves a 5-5 PLO stream coming up later. Really can't wait to comment and report on that one. Looks like we've got Wacky Jackson back in the building. I'm just going to have a 5-minute break myself. And thanks very much for tuning in, guys. 151 of you. Please do like, share, and subscribe.
Check one.
So it looks like a pretty good flop for Kevin here with the 7-8.
17.
Backdoor flush draw. Has middle pair, potential straight. And Amelia finally opening up a little bit looser than what we've seen. We've seen her in two hands, and she's had queens and ace king both times. But it is a button raise. Not surprised she slows down after betting the flop. And it'll likely go check, check on the river. Maybe Amelia will make a stab when it's checked to her. Let's see. And she does.
36.
Decent sizing, a bet of 36 pounds. And it gets through. Good job, Amelia. So it looks like Amelia does have a few gears under her arsenal. Once again, a pub poker player, her first time on a stream from Poland. And Joseph stacks up to 1.1k, so up quite a lot. Never bad to have four figures when you're playing a 2-2 game. And it looks like we may have a straddle in play this hand as well. Up to 147 viewers while the dealer's shuffling cards. It looks like we had a dealer change. A little bit of talk going on. I'm not sure if it's about the previous hand or just some table chatter. Okay, so we have Kevin in the small blind. We have David in the straddle under the gun. Straddles. We've seen single straddles. It's all optional. In the 5-10 game last night, we did see straddles pretty much every hand, though.
Six pass.
Amelia with king 5 suited, so she certainly opened up her range. She's just opting to limp, though, the straddle. I think Joseph is raising the button up to 25. This is fine. He's in position in the hand.
One pass.
Kevin with the easy full from the small blind. Tom with the small decision here from the big blind. It looks like